Good morning, how you going? Welcome back to my channel. It's been quite a while since I uploaded or made the first video of picking up the BYD Sealion 7. If you haven't seen that video, you can click up here and you can watch that video. I think it's had about 16,000 views or something like that. And yeah, so I filmed my experience of picking up my BYD Sealion 7 and the delays that I had and the issues. Yeah, so in that video I take, get my phone and my wallet out of my ass. I pick up the car and I take you through sort of the issues that I faced when picking up the vehicle, and the fact that we weren't allowed to pick up the vehicle. If you want to see the full story, go to that video, you can see that. Picked up the BYD Sealion 7 in July, and now we're in November. So we're quite a few months on, and we've done about 3,000, 4,000 kilometers. So, cut a long story short, well actually before I do tell you about what's happening this morning, I'll cut to the intro. Alright, so this morning, you're probably wondering, why am I in a BYD Sealion 6? Well, I'm actually very, very happy that I'm returning it. This is just a loan car. Alright, so what happened? Our car was scheduled in to have its first service, a 3,500 kilometer service. However, there was a couple of issues that I wanted them to look at, like warranty wise. So the boot wasn't shutting that great, or shutting properly. It was shutting, but it wasn't locking, and then it was saying it was open. So I got them to look at that. The heads-up display was vibrating when you go on a rough road, when you're doing about 100 kilometers an hour. They actually took out the whole dash and put a new one in, all under warranty. But the reason why it's taken a month to get my car back is because when I first picked up the car, if you go back to the video, the initial video here, you'll actually see that there's a little mark on the bonnet. And they said when you bring the car back for its first service, we'll polish that out. Anyway, they weren't able to polish that, and cut a long story short, they've had to respray the whole front bumper bar, all covered under warranty, and it would have been done really super quick, but they needed to order a new badge, because when you take off the old badge to respray it, the old badge won't stick on. So it took like 3 weeks for them to order the BYD badge. This is crazy. I hope that's the real reason. Anyway, I'm picking up the car this morning from BYD Service Centre in Ringwood. I'm going to inspect the whole front bumper bar, which has been sprayed thoroughly. I'm going to inspect it thoroughly and hope that it's a bloody good job and that it doesn't look like someone sprayed it. Okay, so here is my car. Can I tell that it's been resprayed? No, I cannot. Okay, so the mark was here somewhere. They've done a very, very good job. You can't even tell. Now, I'm being a little bit pedantic, but you can see here the panel gap. It's quite even. It just could fit the tip of my finger in there, but then over here, it's a bigger panel gap. So it's like this needs to be pushed up or something. It's not like quite pushed in properly. It's a slightly bigger gap here than here. It's very subtle, but it shouldn't be like that. It's a brand new car. So I don't know how that can be pushed in or pushed up.
Yeah, Instagram
YouTube.
famous.
YouTube. Yes, YouTube.
Just let me get your car ready.
Yes.
I bring it out.
I'll give you back the keys for the Sealion 6. We had a problem with it.
Oh, what happened?
So we were driving on the weekend to the city. Most of the time I've had it in EV mode, but this time I had it in HEV, so using a combination of petrol and EV. I could smell something burning.
Oh, that's normal for the hybrid.
But it was really bad, and I pulled over, lifted up the bonnet, and I don't think the radiator was coming on, and the coolant was bubbling in the bottle.
Yeah, that's normal because when they ship the car to Australia, they put a lot of glue on the pipes against the rusty.
Yeah.
So
when it heats up,
when
it'll
it heats
smell.
up, it will smell.
Just coming through the vents, and I'm like, this is really bad.
Feel like rubber burning smell, right?
Yeah, but then the coolant shouldn't be bubbling in the bottle. So maybe I thought the radiator's not coming on, and the engine was getting really hot.
Yeah, the engine gets very hot because when hybrid the petrol try to charge the battery, it's very
okay. So this is a common thing.
That's very common for the hybrid.
It's very common. Thought the car was going to catch on fire.
Yeah, that's common for the hybrid, and because it's a very new one. And when they do the road, do a test drive, they don't really use a lot of HEV. So it didn't have a chance to burning it.
Okay, so I need to burn it off. Okay, cool. So I just had a chat with the lady. They're going to get the technician to look at the bumper bar. Might be able to adjust it, maybe, I don't know, or bring it back another time. But there's one of the guards, the black guards on the side of the car. But this black guard is like sticking out a little bit, it needs to be like clipped in, so she's just going to get someone to have a look at it, and then I can be on my way. Welcome back, guys. It's a couple of days on. I've taken the car home from being serviced. I've got to tell you sort of what happened and the result of everything. Cut a long story short, it took a month to get the car back, and I could see on the map the car was actually in Springvale. When we got the car back, what I realised is that they didn't respray the front bar. They've actually replaced the whole front. So not the bottom plastic, but the painted section. They ordered a whole new section already painted and re-put a new one on, which is why it took so long. I'm not complaining. I reckon that's great, because I would have, even if they got the colour right, you can still tell a factory spray versus a hand spray. It's a different finish. So it looks fantastic, so very happy about that. The other thing was the heads-up display. When you go on a rough road from about 100 k's onwards, the plastic or the cover of the heads-up display vibrates. It is crazy loud. So they've put a whole new one in as well. I haven't heard it vibrate since. It could be an easy fix. You could just put like a little bit of rubber or something down below of the heads-up display. It's like I'll show you. It's like a little hole in the dashboard. Down in here, there's like a plastic cover, and it's like it's a little bit loose. Any vibration previously, it was just rattling. Now I noticed some things are loud in this car simply because it's an EV. It's really quiet. So for example, the windscreen wipers are so loud. But I think when you have a car that's got a petrol engine, you wouldn't normally hear those minor sounds because the engine just goes over the top of it. Anyway, let me take you through a couple of things that I love about this car, and a couple of things that are a little bit annoying. One thing that I absolutely love about this car is a feature that is called easy entry or easy exit. Now, it used to work and then it stopped working, but I'll tell you in a second why it stopped working. So basically what it is, the front driver's seat will automatically recline back, not the back section, but the seat will go backwards when you open the door so you can get out easy. Let me show you. You can see the seat reclines back when I shut the door. So shutting the door, it's just a really cool feature. That easy entry, easy exit decided to stop working, and I could not figure out why. I looked through all the settings, I looked through everything you could possibly think of, and it just wouldn't work. So I went on to one of the forums, the BYD forums, and figured out and got an answer as to why it didn't work. If you put, I've got rear baby seat in the car. I've got two seats. That seat behind the driver, if you put the seatbelt on, or if there's a passenger in there with a seatbelt on, or in this instance, that rear seat has a buckle over the back, and that you actually have to put the seat through the sort of behind the car seat, and then plug the seatbelt into the seat. When you do that, it thinks that obviously someone's sitting in that chair. So to save their legs getting squashed, it won't do easy entry, easy exit. The seat won't go back anymore because it doesn't want to squash the legs of the person behind. So anyway, a tip for you, if you've got a baby seat behind the driver's seat and you're using the seat belt, it won't, easy entry, easy exit won't engage. Just quickly, a lot of people sort of asking what features do I have or what settings do I usually turn on and off. So look, I can't remember exactly how I've set it up, but let's have a look. So we'll go to the car. What I do is, if I'm going to go for a long drive, I usually go to vehicle, and then I'll cut across to cabin perception, and I'll turn this off because this is a pain in the ass. This is the driver monitoring system. So you go, yep, I don't want to have that on. Yep. Okay, so basically this little thing here is the camera that looks at your eye. So anytime you're looking at the screen or you're looking at traffic over here, it'll beep and it'll say eye detection warning or driver monitoring system detection warning, and it's very annoying. So fortunately you can turn it off, but unfortunately you have to do it every time you turn the car on. There is another thing that I've turned off which I found super annoying, and I've managed to resolve how to fix it. So if you go to ADAS and you go to safety assist, I usually turn that off, emergency lane keeping assist. So I don't like the fact that it jerks you into the lane all the time, so I usually turn that off when I'm driving, but it'll only happen each time you turn the car on or off, so you have to keep doing that. It's not a permanent thing. One thing that is permanent, if I scroll down here, is the traffic sign recognition. So you want to leave that on. So what that means is that you can see what the kilometers is. So that says it's a 40k zone. You want to keep that on because it's actually quite helpful to see what the speed sign or the how fast it is in that area, because sometimes you might not see what the speed sign is, but the car will detect it for you. But what you want to do is actually turn this off. So I've got it off at the moment. So what you want to turn that off. So what that will do is it will disable every time it detects a new speed sign. It will go bing bong, bing bong, bing bang bong, and it is bloody annoying. So I turn that off, and that's permanently off, which is fantastic, and I just leave all those off. So intelligent speed limit control, intelligent speed limit warning, and speed limit change prompt tone. So you want it to detect the traffic light, the traffic sign, but you don't want the bloody tone. So that stays off permanently. I don't have to do that every time. So the only thing I have to do each time is the driver monitoring system. I only turn that off if I'm going for a long drive, and then if I go to ADAS, I usually turn that off each trip, and that's it. But it's basically it. Another feature that took me a while to get used to is that, and you can turn this on or off, or you can choose the timing on it, is when the door handles automatically go in. So I've been in the car talking for a few minutes, they've just gone in electronically. So what that means is it can be a little bit annoying, because say I'm waiting for my wife to come into the car, she'll come to the car and the door handles are retracted in, so she can't get in. You can hit unlock or lock. So you can unlock, and then the door handles, you can see in the mirror, have just retracted. So I can go lock and go unlock, and they'll pop back out again. That's a cool feature. Very handy to note. I believe there is you can access the locking in here as well, but you can just use that quickly on your fingertips on the door. Another thing that how I've set up my car is when I get in, the car doesn't automatically go on. I like to use the stop start functionality. I think that's super handy. It makes it feel like it's a bit more of a normal car. So I turn that on, and that just powers everything on. Other feature I like to use, I've just put it into drive, is I always leave this on. So that is the auto hold. So when you stop at the traffic lights, you can take your foot off the brake and the car won't go or roll anywhere. How do I set up my regen? Okay, so I have it set for high. So what that means is it'll brake sort of quite aggressively when you take your foot off the accelerator, and then you'll get sort of some regen back into the battery. In terms of driver mode, so you've got snow, sport, normal, eco. I actually leave the car in eco. And it's still got plenty of power. I just think it saves a little bit of fuel consumption, and it makes you sort of put the foot down as less. If you put it in normal, you've just got more power, accessible a lot quicker. And then if you put it in sport, there's a lot more power there instantaneously. So eco is just a little bit slower to respond. But if you're just driving around normal, taking the kids to the shops, or you go to the supermarket or whatever, eco is perfectly fine. And another thing you probably wanted to know is range. What are we getting out of a charge? How often do I charge? What's my installation set up at home? We don't have charging. We've just got a standard power point, which is super, super slow. And we just plug that in. Now, we live somewhere very convenient in Melbourne, very close to the shops, very close to the train station where I catch the train to the city. So I walk to the station, we walk to the shops a lot. We don't do a huge amount of kilometers. So we just charge the car at home. And I reckon I'm charging the car, honestly, maybe every 8 days, once a fortnight. And that's enough for us. So if I work from home on a Tuesday, the Monday night, I'll put the car on charge. I'll let the car charge all night Monday night, all day Tuesday. And if it's not topped back up to 100 or 80 or something, I'll just let it keep charging through the night. And then Wednesday, on my way to work, I unplug it, and my wife's got the car and it's fully charged again. And that lasts about 2 weeks. If we do go on a road trip or somewhere further, we have topped up a few times. And it's been super easy. The only thing is you need to download the app for whatever charging station you're using. Probably the best ones I found are called EV charging stations. Super quick, and it doesn't cost that much. I think if you want to top up from, like, say 60% battery, you're probably looking at about $18. If you charge at home, it's much cheaper. Now, I'm just not sure if you can see, there's a beautiful sparkle metallic paint in the sunlight. It is just magic. Absolutely love this color. It's called Atlantis Grey. Now, this color in the showroom and online, I think looks terrible. But in real life, I absolutely love it. I mean, look at that sparkle in the paint. Just magic. Love, love, love this car. I haven't had any issues really with the fact there's no rear windscreen wiper. The water doesn't really sit on there. When you're driving, it does sort of come off, so that's not a real issue. I do need to get the car cleaned again, definitely. Now, I'm just going to get my keys out, because I want to see if this boot is working okay. I think you need to have the key on you. Yep, it's working. So you have to kick underneath the actual sensor. Accessories, what have we got for accessories? We got this from Rubber Tree company in New South Wales. This is great. So this is actually a rubber mat. It is huge. It covers the whole rear of the boot. I can't remember how much we paid, but it might have been like $200, and that was for the full set. So we've only got rubber in the back, we've got carpet in the front and the rear, but in the boot we've got a rubber mat, and that just stops stuff from sliding and slipping everywhere. We don't have a boot like a retractable cover. I really don't think that retractable cover is necessary, because the rear window is so tinted, you just don't even need it. Another handy thing here is if you're going to leave the car, you can just hit the lock button and the whole car will lock, or you can just shut the electric boot. The carpet, and you got to excuse the mess because I do have kids, but I do have one carpet that goes all the way along. There's one piece, which is fantastic because it's a flat floor. This was from Rubber Tree. Look, it's not the highest quality mat, but the thing is, it's there to protect the carpet underneath. And I only just vacuumed a couple days ago, the car. The black just shows everything. Anyway, this is from Rubber Tree. This is the mat, and in the front they click into the actual little ports they've got there. I'll take you around the front. So if you remember, there was like a mark here, and they've actually replaced the whole front. So I believe this is the same, but the actual painted section is all brand new. They've just ordered that from BYD in China, which is why it took so long to get the car back. But I noticed there's like a little mark here from a bug or something, and that was on the original one. So I think they've just replaced the paint section, because the paint is just matching. It is identical. So very happy with that. When I did get it back though, if you remember, there was a bigger gap here, and over here this wasn't like quite clipped in properly. So at BYD Ringwood Service Centre, they realigned it, which took about half an hour, and they fixed this, which was really good. So we're about 4,000 Ks in. No issues so far except for the heads-up display and the boot not aligning or shutting properly. Other than that, it's been great. My wife uses her phone to unlock the car. She doesn't like to carry the key around with her. But we did discover that you can't open the boot with your foot and kick open the boot unless you've got the key with you. And then she also uses her phone and taps it on the mirror to open the car too. I just use the key. I prefer to use the key. But yeah, I love it. It's such a cool car. I'll do another video soon, maybe a bit of a road trip, and take you through sort of how we're charging and where to charge, and any other features that we find interesting about the vehicle. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. See you later.